In this Grow A Garden video, I will be attempting to get every single mutation on the new SUGARGLAZE seed. Now, this thing came out in the recent cooking update, and a lot of people have been asking me to attempt to get every single mutation on this thing and to see the value. So we're going to be doing exactly that and also seeing how big of a SUGARGLAZE we can get. All right, first things first is we're going to spawn in 7 of our Mooncats here. All right, and then next up, we're going to spawn in one of our Triceratopses. This guy is an age 9 compared to my other 2 that are age 8, so he's a little bit ahead of the other 2, so I'm going to go ahead and spawn him in, and then we're gonna go ahead and place our sprinklers here. So I'm gonna go ahead and place our Grandmaster sprinkler, a Master sprinkler, Godly, Advanced, and Basic, and then I'm gonna go ahead and slap down a SUGARGLAZE seed right in that mix. And this should help it get pretty big, plus all of our Mooncats. Now, what we can also do is drag this thing over into a bunch of Mooncats to hopefully get the original SUGARGLAZE to be pretty big. So let me see, can I move this? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there, and we're just gonna let these Mooncats mix in their abilities onto it. All right, that looks pretty good. And then I guess, you know what, since this is growing pretty quick, I can use some more watering cans on it. And then once our Triceratops here is done with this cooldown, I can just go ahead and smack this SUGARGLAZE, and we can get the first set of donuts done and see how big they turn out. Let's try to travel this right in between these guys. We need to get as big of a SUGARGLAZE as we possibly can. Look, the cat's actually sleeping in the tree. What? All right, I'll put it in this one just to get more bonus points possibly from our Mooncats, and then we're going to put it right back in our sprinklers here. All right, then finally, a couple more watering cans, and this thing should be done growing. I wish I could drag the Mooncats over here. I know a lot of people were telling me to get the pancake so I can have them all focus on a section. I actually did not get the pancake unlocked. I just had the pancake mole. But yeah, that'll be one of the things I focus on unlocking next, so we can always have our Mooncats target one area for our plants. All right, our Triceratops is... Oh my... All right, well, it looks like we got a pretty big donut growing in. It looks like everyone's doing their job. Let's see what the Triceratops does to help. All right, kaboom. That was it. That was 33 minutes of growth. All right, so our SUGARGLAZE is done growing. Why is it green? I thought it was going to be like a chocolate one, but I guess we got someone's like boogers. All right, well, we're good here with our Triceratopses, so we're going to go ahead and use some sprays here so we can get 5 mutations applied to our SUGARGLAZE and then get a butterfly to turn that into rainbow for us. So we're going to go ahead and use one of these honey glaze sprays. We're going to use a pollinated, a chocolate, a shocked, and then we're just going to use a wet just to get another one out of the way. And there we go. We have 5 mutations on our SUGARGLAZE here. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and travel this so it's facing this way. This is the one time a chocolate spray makes something look a little bit better, a little bit more appetizing. All right, but anyways, I'm going to favorite this real quick just so I don't accidentally pick that up. And then we're going to go ahead and spawn in 1 queen bee here and a butterfly. So that way our queen bee will cool down our butterfly and convert this thing to rainbow. I'll take all those 5 mutations and convert it to rainbow. And then over here, my main account, I'm going to spawn in a queen bee as well. And then we're going to spawn in my kitsune. So that way, by the time this butterfly over here converts this to rainbow, then our kitsune over here will be ready, and then we can apply chakra or foxfire chakra to our SUGARGLAZE. But for now, I do need to unfavorite this so the butterfly can actually convert these mutations, and we gotta wait about like 17 more minutes. Yeah, so I'll be right back. All right, so our queen bee's about done with her cooldown, and she's about to cool down our butterfly, and hopefully our butterfly can take these and apply rainbow quick, because for some reason my queen bee's timer on my main account bugged, and it is now lined up with this account. So it's about to cool down our kitsune over here as soon as this happens. So queen bee, cool down butterfly. Butterfly is now cooled down. Let's get rainbow quick before the kitsune comes. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up. All right, we're good. We got it just in time. Our SUGARGLAZE is now rainbow. The kitsune is stealing it. And now we have rainbow and chakra done. All right, I'm going to get out of his way. It's very bright and in my eyes. I can't see anything. All right, so since this is good, we're going to go ahead and favorite this just so we don't touch it. And we're going to go and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly. And then let's go ahead and apply some sprays to this thing. So we're going to reapply that shocked onto there. We're going to apply pollinated. We're going to apply fried, honey glazed, burnt, and chocolate. And then over here on my main account, we're going to apply cloud touch, we're going to apply verdant, and we're also going to apply wet, so that way our kappas have an easier time to apply bloodlet to our big SUGARGLAZE here. All right, so that brings us up to 11 mutations on our SUGARGLAZE, so it's looking pretty good here. So first thing I think I'm going to go ahead and do is plant a carrot seed, and we're going to put the shocked spray on our carrot seed here. All right, there we go. Our carrot is now shocked, so then I can go ahead and spawn in our Raiju, which will give us a mutation done right off the bat. He will eat this shocked carrot and apply static to our sugar glaze right away so we can get that mutation done and out of the way. All right, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 2 disco bees as well so we can work on getting the disco mutation added. We're going to spawn in our tranquil scarlet and our corrupted scarlet. Even though we already have verdant done, since they have tranquil and corrupt, we can get tranquil and corrupt mutations on our big sugar glaze here. All right, so that brings us to 5 pets here. Looks pretty good so far. I am going to go ahead and spawn in my chicken zombies next, just so we can get zombified done and out of the way. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in a kappa here, so our kappa can attempt to get this sugar glaze bloodlit. And that's good. We have all of our pets ready to go, and now we just have to wait for all of their cooldowns to go by. Okay, our Raiju just charged that carrot and ate it so fast I wasn't even ready for a second there, but he did apply the static mutation onto our sugar glaze here, so that is another mutation done and out of the way. All right, so what I think I'm going to go ahead and do next is I'm going to go ahead and spawn in this corrupted Kitsune so we can start working on getting a corrupt chakra or corrupt foxfire chakra and add that on to our sugar glaze. All right, and then we're also going to wait around here because our disco bees are about done with their cooldowns, and hopefully we'll get disco applied right away. Usually they're pretty good about getting us disco. Let's see it. All right, one's going off. All right, easy. That first disco bee there instantly gave us the disco mutation. So we're getting some good mutations done. All right, so since that is good and out of the way, let's see. I think I'm going to spawn in another kappa to assist getting this thing to turn bloodlit. And then I guess, let me see what else I have in here. We don't really need our cooked owls today because we did get burnt on it already and fried. All right, I guess really the only other pet we need at the moment will be the pterodactyls. So I'm going to spawn one in here, and then I think what I'll do is whenever our pterodactyl here is about to be done with his cooldown, we're just going to grow a bunch of carrots back here like last second, so that way he can try to apply tempestuous to one of these. So in case he doesn't get tempestuous on the first try on our sugar glaze, all hope won't be lost. We can get it on a carrot and then just use a Spinosaurus to move it over. All right, let's go. One of our chicken zombies just applied the zombified mutation onto our sugar glaze, so that's another mutation done. We move these chicken zombies out of the way. They've done their job. All right, so next up is our pterodactyl. His cooldown is about done, so I'm going to quickly place a couple of these carrot seeds down just to see if we can stack up and maybe get tempestuous on one of these. All right, so let's see if our pterodactyl gives us tempestuous. It'd be nice if he could just give it to us directly on the sugar glaze, but if not, we'll use a Spinosaurus to move over mutations later onto this. All right, let's see it. He went all carrot mode. He didn't even go for the sugar glaze, but one of them did get tempestuous right here. So let me go ahead and favorite this real quick, and then I'm going to pick up the rest of these. All right, there we go. So tempestuous is on this carrot, which means our pterodactyl did do his job. So I'm going to go ahead and pick him up. He is good to go. And I guess we'll go ahead and unfavorite the carrot, and then we're going to put down a Spinosaurus. So this guy will be able to eat the carrot and then move it over to our sugar glaze. Okay, so I knew something felt like it was missing. Like I didn't do one of our pets that we normally do by now. And you know what? There is something missing, which is our spaghetti sloth. We got to get this guy to spawn in so it can give us sauce, pasta, and meatballs so we can get the spaghetti mutation added onto our sugar glaze. I don't know how good a spaghetti sugar glazed donut would taste, but our spaghetti sloth sure thinks it would be good. All right, so we have quite a bit of stuff about to happen. So first off, our Spinosaurus here is going to eat from our carrot, and hopefully it'll just move tempestuous over right away. Let's see. Let's see which mutation it eats. Okay, well, it ate wet, which we didn't need, so good thing we have our other Spinosaurus as backup for right now. So we're just going to wait for that to happen. And then also, hopefully, our corrupt scarlet here will apply the corrupt mutation to our sugar glaze. But it is nighttime now, so we should be able to get moonlit, and hopefully after we'll get a celestial event so we can get celestial added to our sugar glaze. But anyways, there we go. That Spinosaurus has officially added tempestuous over to our sugar glaze, so we can go ahead and pick up our Spinosauruses for now, since we don't really need them to move anything else over. I'm going to pick up that carrot, and then we just got to wait for these guys to apply their mutations to our sugar glaze here. So let's see. Hopefully the corrupt scarlet does corrupt. Come on, please. Get it done. It failed. Okay, well, we're not going to get that one done yet, I guess. But we are going to get moonlit done. So there we go. We now have moonlit added to our sugar glaze here and tempestuous. So that's another 2 mutations done and out of the way. All right, corrupted Kitsune, please give us your mutation. Please. There we go. Corrupted Kitsune applied corrupt chakra to Sugar Glaze. So he is done and out of the way. And now we have harmonized chakra added onto this thing. All right, our Spaghetti Sloth is doing something. Let's see what mutation he adds to our Sugar Glaze first. He's pretty much a guaranteed pet to give us mutations. So let's see what the first one we get is. All right, we have sauce added to our Sugar Glaze now. So that is good to see. And once he applies his other two, we'll have the full spaghetti mutation done. All right, our Spaghetti Sloth is heading over to hopefully apply the next mutation that we need. Hopefully it's not the same one. All right, there we go. So we got Meatball added to Sugar Glaze. So now we have Sauce and Meatball on our Sugar Glaze here. As you can see, here's Sauce, here's Meatball. So once he adds Pasta, those will all turn into Spaghetti. Oh, wow. For the first time, I think, in one of these videos, we're actually getting an Aurora event. I mean, I guess we used to get events like this all the time, and I think we had the Aurora before when Brighter would do all the admin events. And it's ending. Well, no Aurora mutation. I guess I'll trowel this back. Okay, well, I literally just got back from being AFK, and I just came back to the Spaghetti Sloth applying pasta to our Sugar Glaze here. So let's go ahead and take a look if anything else happened. All right, so yeah, now we have spaghetti because we had all three of the Spaghetti Sloth mutations applied. It still looks like we did not get corrupt while I was AFK, so we still have to wait for corrupt to be applied, and we still have to wait for bloodlet to get applied. But our Spaghetti Sloth is at least done. All right, so finally we got another mutation done. Our Scarlet finally applied the corrupt mutation onto our Sugar Glaze. We can go ahead and pick him up. And now we have corrupt added onto here and Tranquil. So we have those two done. It's pretty much only up to our Kappas now to try and get bloodlet. I always spawn these guys in first, and then they literally struggle the entire time to convert wet to bloodlet. But hopefully they do that, and then once they get this thing bloodlet, or hopefully get it bloodlet, we'll then apply wet again and then convert wet over to frozen. All right, well, big rip. We've been waiting for our Kappas to give us bloodlet for like 2 or 3 hours now, and they haven't. And then we got a frost event, so this thing is frozen and we can't get bloodlet now. All right, well, we didn't get bloodlet today, but we did get frozen. I wanted to get frozen and bloodlet though, but you know, sometimes you can never win at these things. And then yeah, it's also been hours and we haven't had any other events happen. We have our raptor spawned in, so we're gonna try to pick up our Sugar Glaze and get amber applied. But in total, we do have 19 mutations, and if you spread some of these out like tempestuous, we would have 20. Spaghetti, we would have 22, and harmonized chakra would bring us to 24 mutations. So if we get amber, that'll be 25. Without further ado, let's go ahead and pick this thing up. Oh, look at that. We actually did get amber. So yeah, this thing technically has 20 mutations on it, or 25. It, for some reason, shrunk in size when I picked it up. Sometimes the big plants do that. The donut, maybe just for holding purposes, it did that. But hopefully it didn't actually break the size of it, and then it's going to break the value. I don't know, but we'll give it a shot. So thanks to our raptors for helping us out. All right, well, without further ado, I'm going to check the value of this thing with Steven. Hopefully it's still good. I don't know if the size actually went down or if it's just a visual bug like it used to be, but we're going to go ahead and check with Steven and see how much our Sugar Glaze donut is worth. So Steven, what would you give me for this thing today? Okay, yeah, I think the size stayed the same because this is worth 209 billion, which is actually really good for missing some of the mutations like Paradisal and also Ceramic. If we did get all of the admin mutations on this thing, I think it would have been close to 1 trillion or even passing 1 trillion, and we could have even gotten it bigger. But yeah, this is actually a pretty good price for the Sugar Glaze donut, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below if this is a good price to you guys, and make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe for bonus points, and I'll see you guys in the next one.